The desert heat shimmered over the tarmac like a mirage as Julian Marks stepped out of the black SUV and into the morning sun. He wore a navy cotton polo tucked into plain khakis and clean white sneakers, comfortable, neutral, and entirely unremarkable. At first glance, he looked like just another frequent traveler arriving too early for his flight. That was exactly what he wanted. The regional airport outside Santa Fe wasn't big on luxury, but Julian's airline had invested millions into building a premium terminal here, catering to tech executives, celebrities with ranches in New Mexico, and oil consultants flying between Texas and the coast. Today, he wasn't here for business meetings or PR campaigns. He wasn't here to shake hands or make press statements. He was here for the truth. For the past 3 months, Julian had received anonymous complaints about discriminatory treatment at his airline's flagship terminals, black travelers being asked to wait in separate areas, service inconsistencies, even racial profiling by ground staff. The reports weren't public, not yet, but he had seen enough to be disturbed. When his executive team brushed it off as a misunderstanding, Julian decided to go see for himself. He walked toward the frosted glass doors of the executive terminal, a rolling carry-on in hand. Inside, the air conditioning wrapped around him like silk. The terminal was sleek marble floors, brushed steel fixtures, ambient lighting. A reception desk stood at the center, where a woman in a tight bun and pearl earrings looked up from her monitor. She gave a cursory glance at Julian and raised her eyebrows. "May I help you?" "Yes," Julian replied, keeping his voice steady. "I'm checking in for Flight 107 to San Diego." She glanced behind him, scanning the parking lot. "Business class." "First," he said calmly. Her eyes narrowed just a touch. "Do you have your confirmation code?" He handed over his phone, displaying his boarding pass. She barely glanced at it. "I'm sorry," she said, her tone flat. "You'll need to wait in the main terminal. This lounge is for premium clients." Julian tilted his head slightly. "Isn't this the premium lounge?" "For qualifying passengers, yes," she replied, then lowered her voice slightly. "Sir, I think you might be at the wrong entrance." A younger man in uniform walked over, clipboard in hand. His badge read L. Hatcher Concierge. He gave Julian a tight, rehearsed smile. "Is there a problem here?" Hatcher asked the receptionist. "No problem," Julian said evenly. "Just trying to check in." Hatcher glanced at the screen, then at Julian's boarding pass. "I see. Sir, we're going to have to ask you to step outside for just a moment. There's a process." "A process?" Julian asked, not moving. "Security reasons," Hatcher added, lowering his voice. "It's just how we do things here. If you wait in the atrium, someone will be out shortly." Julian's jaw tightened, but he nodded and stepped aside, exiting through the glass doors. Outside, the sun hit his face like a spotlight. His phone buzzed. It was a text from Marianne Greer, his executive assistant. "Board voted to approve budget for Dallas Lounge expansion. Want me to confirm construction timeline?" Julian stared at the screen. A wave of contradiction hit him inside. His own staff had just dismissed him as unworthy to be inside. Outside, he was being asked to greenlight multi-million-dollar expansions. He typed back quickly. "Hold off. Investigating something." 20 minutes passed. Then 30. Several other passengers entered the terminal without issue men in suits, a woman with a designer tote and Louboutin heels, 2 middle-aged white couples chatting about golf resorts. No one was asked to wait. No one was stopped. Julian turned and walked back inside. The receptionist's face dropped slightly. "Sir, I thought we asked you to wait outside." He gave her a long look. "And I waited. No one came." "Sir, I'll have to ask you to leave," she said, her voice firmer now. "You're disrupting our operations." "I see," Julian replied, reaching into his pocket and pulling out his ID badge. It was black, edged in gold, with a discreet emblem that only a handful of people in the building would recognize. The badge read, "Julia Marx Theo Altura Airlines." Hatcher's face went white. The receptionist froze, her mouth slightly open. "I wasn't here for special treatment," Julian said quietly. "I was here to see how you treat people when you think no one is watching." "Sir, I didn't realize," the receptionist stammered, her voice trembling. You didn't care to, Julian interrupted. You saw my face, made a decision, and stuck with it. Hatcher cleared his throat. Mr. Marks, we apologize. It's out of misunderstanding. Julian looked at him, calm and resolute. Is it? The concierge looked down. Julian walked past them, entering the lounge area. The inside was pristine leather chairs, complimentary champagne, a private chef behind a glass window preparing artisanal sandwiches. A few heads turned, but no one said a word. Julian didn't sit. He walked to the nearest desk and asked for a list of all employees currently on shift. I'll take it directly, he said when the assistant hesitated. Then he made a call. By the time his plane landed in San Diego 3 hours later, 3 employees of the Santa Fe terminal had been placed on immediate administrative leave. An internal investigation had begun, and a new executive directive was sent out across Altura Airlines under his name. All Altura staff, regardless of location, rank, or role, will undergo immediate equity and bias training with top-down monitoring. No one will be exempt. This is not performative. This is policy. Later that evening, Julian sat at a modest restaurant by the beach in La Jolla, sipping green tea and watching the waves roll in. His assistant called. You could have told them who you were from the start, she said. I could have, Julian replied, but then I wouldn't have seen the truth. Across the street, a little boy ran after his father, laughing, their shadows long on the pavement. Julian watched them disappear into the golden haze of sunset. There were some things you couldn't learn from reports or board meetings. Some lessons only came when you stripped away your title, your image, and stood exposed to the world's assumptions. Today, the truth had been expensive, but it had also been worth every second.